Bliss, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rissa Vibes here, aka Readings by Rissa. So excited to connect with you as always. Today is Sunday, and we are ready for a brand new weekly reading all about the energy of this upcoming week. I'm going to be getting into all of the astrological influences, as well as the spirit messages that I receive from my meditations, my readings, and my intuitive connections with my guides. I am so excited to connect with all of you. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm super excited to get into the energy of this week. We just had a huge moon energy all yesterday for Halloween, Samhain, the thinning of the veil, such a big energy. And we're integrating a lot. It was a blue moon, which means it was the second full moon of the month. And of course, it was on Halloween. So we had this epic energy of connecting to the spirit world and really getting attuned to our intuition and our ability to connect very deeply to that which is our intuitive powers and our skills. So let me know if you felt that energy last night. Let me know how you're feeling today. I know for me, I am feeling so much energy today. There's like such a strong force and like electricity and buzzing. And there's just this energy of connection. I feel like there's this really almost overwhelming energy. Like I've been breathing through it all day. I've been feeling like all the tingles, all the buzzing and just the sensitivity of the energy increase and shift that we're experiencing on such a cosmic and spiritual and energetic level. So super excited to get into that and how that really connects us to our spirit and our path. But let me know how you're all doing as you all get comfortable and connected. Super excited to welcome all of you who are watching live. And for those of you who are watching on the replay, good to see you as well. Super excited to jump in. But before we jump into this week's energy upcoming, we're going to talk a little bit about last week, just to give us a little review. So I want to go over the cards that we pulled last week. The beginning of the week card last week was trust. And so it was really encouraging us to lean into our faith, our trust, our ability to trust our intuition, trust the path that we're on, and trust the feelings that we're getting, the inklings that we're getting to do certain things, whether it was let certain things go or move forward into certain paths or shift certain energies in our lives. We really wanted to trust whatever we were being given. And then in the middle of the week last week, I pulled the Miracles card. And this was the second time I pulled that card in 2 weeks. The week before that, I pulled it for the end of the week. So we were literally in the middle of the Miracles energy last week's reading, and then pulled the Miracle card for the middle of this last week. So we're continuing on with this energy of the impossible becoming possible, dreams becoming reality, the energy of manifestation, of miracles, and this like powerful transmuting force for things that we needed to clear or heal that maybe we thought was just absolutely unfathomable, but now is becoming real. So it's beautiful to see the miracles happening in the middle of the week last week. And I think they're going to continue on throughout the rest of the year, especially since we're in the harvest season. We're still in autumn. So there's a lot of abundance still on its way to us. And then at the end of the week, we pulled the forgiveness card. And this was this energy of being able to know that we don't have to hold on to grudges or guilt or shame or blame anymore within ourselves or outside of us, that by finding forgiveness, we're able to release certain karmic cords or debts that we created or needed to close the chapter on in order for us to move forward. So really powerful end of the week card with forgiveness. And then we had the Brother in Darkness card, and the Brother in Darkness card was for our blue moon, which was the full moon in Taurus last night. And that card was really reminding us to honor the parts of our shadow that are healing us, that are letting us see things that need to be healed and cleared, that are giving us this awareness of, you know, our masculine energy and the ability to kind of provide what we need to provide for ourselves, to stand up strong in our own independence and accountability and responsibility for our healing, and to use that that kind of motivation to act on whatever shadow needed to be cleared and kind of focused on in order for healing to occur. So really powerful for that blue moon. And I know a lot of you were maybe feeling some heaviness with the blue moon, some, intense emotions. This was something that definitely came up in the Instagram live that I did with Chad on, I think it was Friday. And that's still up on my Instagram. It's up forever. So go ahead and go check it out if you didn't get a chance to. You can follow me at Readings by Rissa and you can check that out, because there's a lot of things that came up in that live that I think will really help all of you if you're feeling a little bit heavy or just a little down, or just needing a little bit of more awareness on what you were feeling during that moon. So the energy of the moon, by the way, is still going to continue throughout today and tomorrow, and probably a little longer, to be honest, since it was such a big moon. So it's okay if you're still feeling that. It's okay if you're still kind of trying to figure out that energy. And it's also okay if you haven't done your ritual yet, or your little ceremony or meditation to honor the moon, or use kind of that energy to manifest more in your life, because that energy is still very potent. So this is still a great time to do those things as well, okay? All right, so with that review, let's go ahead and get into this week's energy, November 1st to November 8th, 2020. This is going to be a really big week. We are stepping into a new phase of development in our preparation for 2021. And it really starts with this alignment with 11/1/2020. And this is that gateway, that portal, the thinning of the veil portal at its ultimate peak, starting from yesterday to today. And now we're feeling the full expansion of that gate open, and we're recognizing that there is so much energy flowing through. And it is a portal. You can kind of imagine the numbers 1101/2020, and just the way in which those zeros kind of open up gateways, and in between such synchronistic numbers of 1 and 2s, right? So this energy of taking the first steps forward, of stepping into this gate, of aligning to our awareness of self in a balanced way, 2s being balance and also duality, and understanding the harmony between both, and the 1s being alignment. So this is a really powerful energy that we're in right now. And the biggest thing that I was getting from my guides in regards to the spirit messages that I received throughout this whole week was that we're feeling this renewable heart energy. We're literally feeling our heart repairing itself, becoming renewed, emerging, opening up, cleansing, activating. There's so much going on in our hearts as a mass collective, on an individual level, even within our families or our relationships, or, soul tribes. There's just this strong connection to our heart space. And as we continue to renew our heart, as we continue to let that energy activate, however it is being expressed through you, we are able to up level our vibration, because when we access those parts of our heart that we haven't in so long, we really allow ourselves to activate our superpowers. It's the gateway to the divine. It's the part of us that actually allows those energies and frequencies in. And so as we open that up, as we cleanse it, however that may feel to you, it's so important to know that this is a big, big initiation and abundance within ourselves that is coming through. And the internal abundance of this experience is going to ultimately result in a big, big external abundance showing up in our lives, especially as we lean in and as we trust, like they were telling us last week, our beautiful guides, our higher selves, source energy, and just this awareness of, our intuition, letting things open up to receive. So ask your heart to be renewed. Give your heart permission to follow this process of renewing itself and reemerging in itself. Because when you actually start to communicate to your heart, and it may feel silly at first when you're holding your heart and you're saying, I give you permission to be renewed. I give you permission to, regenerate yourself. It may seem silly, but when you breathe into that and you really say that within yourself or in your mind's eye or out loud, you'll feel the vibration change, because your heart wants that permission. And it doesn't want to do something that you might not be ready for. It doesn't want to do something against your will. It really wants you to want it. And that's how the heart operates. It operates off of desire. So if you want your heart to be renewed and to feel regenerated and to feel its ultimate best energy and capacity, then ask your heart to go ahead and renew itself. And in this is like the completion phase of that heart healing that we were talking about last month and the way in which it's unfolding. So we're really preparing this renewable heart for 2021, because 2021, just like today with 11/1/2020, is going to be another gateway, another opening up to a new world, a new energy, a new essence of ourselves, of our consciousness, and of our capacity to create our reality. Okay, so this is a big, big energy that we're preparing for. And it's going to be important to notice the way this energy comes through. It's going to feel like a whirlwind. It's going to feel like a vortex. It's going to feel a little overwhelming. It's going to cause you to breathe through it. It's going to really give you this sense of awareness and sensitivity that you may not have ever experienced before. And that's okay. As you breathe through it, as you kind of hold your heart or hug yourself through it, or, get cozy somewhere and just feel through it, you're going to recognize that there's so much there for you that's actually a treasure, that's actually showing you the capacity of your heart, and that is really going to create a vortex of positivity in your life, because there's cleansing, there's activation, there's growth, no matter what that vortex feels like. And it's important to pay attention to how it feels, because if it's feeling really heavy, then that means that there's something that needs to be cleared, something that needs to be addressed, something that needs to be seen, a part of the shadow that needs to be, paid attention to in order for that energy, that heaviness to be cleared, to be alleviated. And so that is going to tell you something. And if it's a whirlwind of positivity and excitement and even a little bit maybe anxious energy or nervousness or passion, there's so many things that can be said about that can be saying that you are right in alignment to exactly what you're doing and what you're meant to be doing right now in your life. It could also be saying that there's a lot going on to process, and it might be telling you to slow down a little bit if it starts to feel too anxious or too overwhelming, right? And to just start to breathe and get present, to really understand what that energy is saying to you, and to dissect it a little bit more, because sometimes there's signs and synchronicities in there. Sometimes there's past life memories in there. Sometimes there's things where we recognize parts of ourselves that we haven't seen before in there, or that we're just getting familiar with again. And that can be a really beautiful thing to slow down and get present with. So just notice how you're feeling it, and notice how that may be telling you something about what needs to be done in your life to lean in and accept and become more aware of whatever is coming through the heart space. Okay. So this is a powerful thing, this renewable heart energy, the whirlwind energy of the vortex. And that really is what it is. It's a vortex of energy in your heart. It's a vortex of energy around you. It's a vortex of energy in an experience or a relationship or a connection or a part of yourself. And it's such a beautiful thing to explore. And you can feel it because it's fast and profound. And it's got this energy of kind of creating a new direction, or creating more of a direction. It kind of has a sense of momentum. And it's really important to notice if that momentum is comfortable to you, or if it's getting overwhelming. If it's getting overwhelming, again, meditate, breathe, do some yoga, feel into it, journal about it, let yourself get present and get grounded with the energy, because that's why you're feeling a little overwhelmed, is because you're not really grounded. You're not really paying attention to whatever's there. You're just feeling it all, and it's becoming too much for you. Okay. And stay in the heart during this time when you're feeling those whirlwind energies, no matter how they're coming through, because your heart is that gateway to the divine, and it is the thing that is renewing, and it is your connection to your inner knowing and your inner being. And so as you stay connected to your heart, you'll be able to feel more of the truth of the energy that you're experiencing. And when I say stay grounded, there's so many ways, like I've told you. So go out into nature, allow yourself to imagine your energy kind of grounding into your feet, moving into your feet, or breathing into the roots of Mother Earth and kind of feeling that energy meeting you in your root chakra. You can eat certain foods to ground. You can do certain yoga poses. There's so many things. So definitely get creative, explore, and look up different ways to ground, because there's so many resources out there, and there's going to be certain ways that really help you ground more than maybe some other people. So everybody's different in the way they ground. So the more that you can kind of learn about that, the better. And I encourage you to go back to the Holistic Healing Shining Light series that I did a couple weeks ago. There's a playlist created with all of the things that were, premiered on that day. And there's a lot of tactics for grounding your energy and healing your energy and just getting really present with yourself. So that may also be a really great resource too. All right, so the next spirit message is shadow people. Now, before I get into shadow people, let me see how everybody's doing. I'm checking in on everyone. Marie is here. Good to see you, Marie. Kevin is here. Phil is here. Thank you for the super chat donation, Phil. Hedwig is here as well. So many blessings to all of you. And I am so excited to continue, these readings in this community. And I am also wanting to let all of you know, as I've kind of prepped you for the last couple of weeks, next week will be our last live reading together, but I will still be doing weekly readings. I will just be pre-recording them and premiering them live. And that will allow me to actually get on the chat and kind of chat with you all as I watch the video with you as it premieres. And very similar to how we did some of the segments on the Shining Light on holistic healing. So that's going to be really nice, because we're not going to lose any data if YouTube crashes, or if something weird with the technology happens for retrograde season or anything like that. So that's going to be really fun, and we'll still be able to connect, and probably even a little deeper as a web of light community, because I'll be able to chat with you. So I'm super excited to have that, and thank you all of you who've watched these readings for so long. It's been like 2.5 years that we've been doing this, and it's just so amazing to have such a beautiful community to share this with every week. All right, so let's get into shadow people, okay? We got a little light and fluffy before we get into this shadow people stuff. And it sounds creepier than it is, but it is something to talk about, and it is something that is showing up a lot because we're in the thinning of the veil. Thinning of the veil being that part of the season of the year that allows us to connect to the spirit world even deeper, to see into the spirit world more. The veil is thin, and we are feeling the spirit world all around us. Now, with that being said, there always is a spike in this kind of awareness of shadow people. Now, when I say shadow people, I mean these kind of beings or shadowy figures that show up in rooms or in corners or in just odd places, and you see them out of the corner of your eye, or you see them in a dream, or you see them or feel them around you. And it does feel a little creepy. I'm not going to lie. You can definitely feel the creepiness of it, but it's mainly creepy because it's unknown, and it's mainly creepy because there isn't a sense of awareness of who or what it is. And it usually, a shadow figure, shadow people, they usually don't say anything. They just kind of stand there, or they just kind of are there wherever you feel them. It depends on your intuition. You may see them clairvoyantly, or actually physically see them in the corner of your eye, or just in passing or looking. You may also feel them or sense them. You may also, some people even smell spirit, and can feel that kind of energy through their ability to smell, their sense of smell. Or you can hear, kind of an echoey sounding, shadowy energy. So let me tell you what they are, okay? Because obviously this sounds super creepy, like a Halloween haunted movie, right? But I'm really being honest here. This is something that happens, and I'm sure some of you have experienced this. And I've seen a lot of these in my readings, and the readings that I do for people. And people really get freaked out, and I want to bring this up so that they know that it's not something to be that afraid of. First of all, when we explore the spirit world and those realms, Like I said last week, we are light. And when we can remember that we are light in any darkness or in any energy or presence of darkness or something that seems dark or heavy, we will become more powerful in that energy. And also we will always be protected. So we have to understand that by seeing into the spirit world, it doesn't mean that the spirit world can hurt us or access us differently or do something bad to us. If we give our power over to them, or if we like do weird rituals to do that, to create that, then yes, absolutely. But that's not something you would have to do a lot to actually have that kind of experience. You would have to really go out, find the ritual, do the ritual, have all the right stuff and the right intentions and the right knowledge and all this stuff to create that kind of thing. Okay. That being said, you may see them because the veil is thin. You still may see shadow people. You still may feel shadow people. You still may feel that shadow dimension, but it doesn't mean that they can access you. And it doesn't mean that you are powerless to them or that they're going to get you or anything like that. Okay. Trust me, I used to be very afraid of these things, so I understand why you would be, and I understand that that may be uncomfortable to even hear or to talk about. But I want to remind you that you are light, and that by reminding yourself that you are light, that none of those things can actually touch you or harm you, and you would actually have to do a lot to allow them to do that anyway. Okay, so with that being said, a lot of these shadow people, they may be attached to others. They may be attached to a room or a home you're in. They may be attached to a piece of land you're on. They may be attached to an experience you had that created or attracted that shadowy energy and now is connected to you or following you or kind of in your aura. Now, this is something that is important to know because, as I said last week, with karmic contracts being cleared, cords being cut, things being left and released, and shadow work being done, we're going to see these things. And sometimes the shadow people are connected to you. Sometimes they're a part of a thought, a group of thoughts that you've had that have become personified in this shadowy dimension as a way to wake you up and show you that this thing is there, that this school of thought, this group of thoughts that have been negative and clinging to you since a certain experience has created such an energy that it's now lingering around and needing to be released, okay? So how do you release shadow people? You release them by shining light onto them. You call on your higher self, you call on your angels, you call on your spirit guides, and you ask them to shine light onto it, okay? You also ask to receive whatever information you need to know in order for you to clear it completely. And that may come through as a conversation you have to have with yourself or with someone else to kind of bring closure, or even a meditation that you need to do, or a place you need to visit and a prayer you need to say. Like, there's so many things that could come through, a crystal that you need to get. There's so many things that can come through when you ask. So ask what information you need to clear and ask for light to shine on it from your higher self, from your angels, from source, from God, really your higher power, whatever it is that is your light source energy that you connect to. Call on that and shine that light onto it. And of course, if you need help, reach out to me. I'm a professional intuitive, so that's what I do. I'm happy to help you with that. And we'll talk about, creating some kind of offer for that if we need to. But I am here for you on that because I think it's really important that people recognize that these shadow people might be around right now. And this is actually a great opportunity for us to tackle whatever shadow aspects have been connected to us, or in a house. We want to sage. If it's in a house, sage and call on your guides, call on the light to be shown, clear out the room with that, pop a window open or door open and sage and say some prayers, put some cleansing, music, meditation music on, and allow that energy to disperse. But there is a lot of that energy. And if it's connected to somebody else, if you can feel that, that's a great opportunity for you to shine light on awareness, call on your guides and ask your guides, is this something I need to help them clear, and see if they're open to that. You always want to ask people permission. You never want to do anything like that without their permission. But it also may just be a message for you to stay away from that person, and then that person actually has to do that work on their own. But that was just a warning for you to kind of cut the cord or clear, whatever you need to clear. So all of these things could be the case. And like I said, I do readings on this for that reason. So if you guys need help, let me know. But I always encourage you, use your own intuition first, tap into that. Because I also teach you how to develop your intuition through coaching. So if you're looking for mentoring, if you're looking for coaching on how to develop that, let me know. Because the next message on the spirit messages for this week is the fact that our intuition is our survival skill, and it's one of our most potent ones, especially in the time we're in right now. There's so much discernment needing to be had with everything going on within ourselves, the shadow aspects that are available to us to clear and to be able to recognize so that we can do that clearing, and also the awareness of just information, deception, illusion that's been in our world for a long time that's surfacing. We need our intuition most at this time because there's so many contradictory sets of information. There's so many contradictory energies, so much to sift through. And our filter is our intuition, and it is a survival skill, especially right now. And that is so much of a reason why we have to develop our own intuition. We have to really take the time to do the work and make that a priority, because when we don't have our intuition, we can be easily manipulated by anything, anyone, and any circumstance. And there is so much of that energy going on right now that can really cause us to be so distracted from our path and really walk down a path that will create, a lot of things that we just don't want to experience in our life. So if that's something that you really want to dive deeper into, to develop your intuition, to invest in yourself to do that, then definitely reach out to me, because this is the time to do it. And if it's something you've already been thinking about or being called to, then your spirit is telling you that this is something that's important. And maybe it's because of a relationship you're in, or maybe it's because of a certain piece of your healing that hasn't been fully completed, that just needs that extra mentoring, or a part of your past that needs some awareness and reflection from a past life, or a power that needs to be activated. So there's so many reasons, right? But allow yourself to feel into that, and know that as we step into more of this awareness of shadow and discernment and preparation for next year, and all of the things coming to the surface that need to be revealed, we are also in this place of really coming into our insight and our superpower and our ability to rise up into a higher vibration, into more of who we're meant to be, into the light workers, the healers, the intuitives, the Reiki energy masters, the shamans that we're meant to be. And so as we allow ourselves to raise our vibration, to tap into our superpowers, and to know that this time in the world and in our lives is actually the boot camp, the training, the in-depth kind of, just combat training that we're meant to have to prep us for what we're getting into and what we're meant to be strong leaders in for the next generation. The more we realize that, the more we rise into our motivation and into our strength and into our power and into our pride in that, and our courage and our confidence in that. And we wouldn't have that motivation if it weren't for all the things we're going through, all the shadow work we're seeing, all the things in the world, all the weird awarenesses and perspectives we had to become more expanded mentally on, so that we can really understand the bigger picture. All of this is for a reason. And the light workers, which was another message for the spirit, from the spirit messages I've been receiving for this week, the light workers, the healers, the intuitives, all of us, we are going through such deep shadow work and such deep tests of our faith, of our power, of our strength, of our endurance, because we are meant to be the leaders for those who are needing to see how it's done, and who are also not even really aware that they're going to have to go through this as well at some point. So we have to go through it first. We have to go through it deepest and in the most expanded and diverse way and complex way, in order for us to really harbor the skill and activate the strength to show others how to do the same, and to be able to relate to others who are going to go through all sorts of versions of that as well. So this is us standing into our power, stepping more into it. And the biggest thing is, your insight, your intuitive insight is the biggest survivor skill. And the courage and bravery is what's going to get us through the next couple of weeks. I keep feeling like there's an energy that we're going to need to be courageous and brave and just extra fierce in our light over the next couple of weeks. So pay attention to that. And another thing that was really important is that there's separations kind of coming through as well in the energy. Like there's division, there's separation. And I think this is really in relation to the election coming up and just the ways in which it's unfolding energetically. And the biggest message that they were saying on this, my higher self, my higher guides, my connection to the mass collective, higher self, is to not let the division divide us, to not let the efforts of division or the efforts to separate us, don't let that divide us. Don't let it divide us from ourselves, our spirit, and don't let it divide us as people, as unity consciousness, as collective consciousness, as collective energy. We have to stay in unity consciousness. We have to recognize how we're all one. We have to stand in that powerful energy of love and compassion and courtesy and consideration. This is the Mother of Mercy card that we're stepping into that I talked a little bit about last week. It's the energy of November, the card that I pulled for the annual reading when I pulled a card for every single month of 2020 last January, or this last January. The card was Mother of Mercy for November, and that's what we're stepping into. This energy of being considerate, compassionate, noticing unity consciousness and how we're all connected, being able to forgive, being able to see how we affect others, how our opinions, how our expressions, how our actions affect others, and being considerate of that, and learning how to cater to each other in a loving way, a respectful way, learning how to compromise, learning how to stay friends, even if you vote for different people, learning how to still love and have conversations in a loving way and respectful way if you disagree on things, letting your dualities find harmony in respect. Because when you do that, you actually are opening up to learning more than you ever would if you were shut off and just trying to argue or attack. So going back to the Mercury or the Mars retrograde mantra, relax, don't react, allow yourself to respond with respect, respond with love, respond with consideration, and don't let division divide you, okay? This is going to help us elevate to higher ground. This is going to help us raise our vibration. This is going to help us tap more into our intuition and have even more truths revealed to us. This is also going to be the tests that we're given as light workers to really lean more into our light in challenging times than to revert back to, just not so great behavior, not so light behavior, okay? And the last thing that I want to say, which is very odd, but I am very, very, very called to share it, is that there's this electricity in the earth, and this is from my galactic guides. And sometimes my galactic guides, they just say stuff and it doesn't really make sense at first, but I know it's important and it comes up later. So I'm just going to say what they said. There's electricity in the earth, and they showed me this energy in the earth, kind of coming from the earth's core. Almost looked like lightning coming out from the earth's core and like opening up different parts of the earth. It didn't look like it was going to ruin anything. It looked more like birthing new energy or like creating new energy, but it may cause a little disruption in certain things. I don't know exactly what, but there's just this really strong energy. And it was almost like the earth's core was the earth's heart. And there's this pulsing happening, this energetic pulse or frequency or vibration coming from the earth's core. So there's electricity in the earth. We'll see how that unfolds. And then also my galactic guides brought forth the awareness of our hybrid children. These for our star seeds, for the star seeds out there, the hybrid children are the the galactic children that we are connected to that are of our vibration or of even sometimes our bodies, being if we've been abducted or if like things have been kind of taken from us to see ETs. This is a very weird topic. I know you guys, this is like definitely getting into starseed stuff. So if you're not into starseed stuff, just turn this video off. But honestly though, there's a lot of hybrid children out there and they're really energetic mainly, but they are other dimensional. They are connected to our energy, whether it's through a meditation we had or connection we had energetically with our spirit body, or even sometimes our physical body, connecting in a way where we, you know, we're kind of, our energy or our body was used to create hybrid children. Okay. And these hybrid children are actually really high dimensional. They're very, very high vibrational. And a lot of them are kind of showing up in a lot of different ways. And these actually can be, you know, children that we end up having, or they can be just energetic children that show up as guides for us that are kind of in our meditations or our visions, or whenever we connect to our galactic guides, we're shown them. So these hybrid children are showing up more. This is a big thing. I feel like I'm supposed to do an event on this versus dive super deep into this on this video. So I probably will do that in the next couple of weeks. So keep a lookout for that if you're interested in learning more about hybrid children. But there's a lot of research you can do as well. So go ahead and do your own research. Of course, I always encourage that. But if you want to dive a little deeper into it, I will most likely post an event about it soon, because it is a big topic and it is a unique topic. So it's only a topic for people who are kind of called out of curiosity to explore that, because most of the time that means you have a hybrid children that's wanting to connect with you. So we'll do a little event. We'll do a little event to talk about it and maybe to connect to our hybrid children, because that's coming up a lot for a lot of people, not just me, but other people that I've talked to that are light workers, and also just this energy of recognizing other guides that are galactic, that are connected to our inner children, and also to the energy of new life coming into our awareness, new life coming into our being, new activations, new powers, new manifestation energy. This can be expressed in so many ways through new projects, business ventures, you know, creating a home, you know, healing, cleansing, all sorts of stuff. So this is a powerful energy as well. All right, I think that's everything on my side of things when it comes to the spirit messages. Now let's go ahead and talk about the astrology before we pull some cards. How's everybody doing? Yes, looking so good to see all of you chatting, observe, not absorb. Yes, Marie, that mantra is so powerful. I love that. Kevin Johnson says Arcturians. Yes, I have Arcturians guides as well. So I definitely feel that. And yes, hybrid children event coming soon. I'm glad you guys are excited about that. That is fun for me to talk about, and super fun when other people are just as excited to talk about it with me, because it's an interesting topic. It can be a little weird, but it's definitely one worth talking about and exploring. All right, let's get into the astrology towards the end of our reading. The first astrological influence of this week coming up is on the 3rd, which is election day, and it is also the day when Mercury retrograde goes direct. So Mercury is going to go direct, which means retrograde will end on the 3rd. This is going to be an interesting energy because we're literally going to feel a very big energetic shift in communication, a big energetic shift in what was expected or what we thought. There's an energy of kind of a little bit of chaos in the shift, a little bit of chaos with that. And it's all about vibration. So you're only going to experience chaos if you are in a chaotic vibration, and if you surrender to a chaotic vibration, or if you bring forth a chaotic vibration. So this is all about frequency and energy is what I've been picking up. I'm definitely feeling Tesla energy with this as well. Nikola Tesla, just this energy of recognizing the vibration of things and really being on point with where you put your energy towards and what vibration you put yourself in, because that's what's going to create the way you experience the shift of the Mercury retrograde ending on the 3rd with everything going on with the election. So we are shifting to balance, and duality and division is a part of that balance. So we have to see what is dualistic in order to balance. And this is also an awareness of spirit and matter, still going into that thinning of the veil energy as we continue this peak week of the thinning of the veil as it comes to an end towards 11/11. And so spirit and matter really is representative of heart versus mind, the heart being more of our spirit, our intuition, and the mind being more focused on material, logical, things that are more grounded. And so we really want to balance the heart and the mind. We want to stay in our heart for a more spiritual connection as that Mercury goes direct. And it's going direct in Libra. So it is all about balance and duality. So this is going to be an interesting day. So pay attention to your vibration and put yourself in a place or a experience or an essence that is vibrationally aligned to what you want to experience that day. That's very important. All right. And then on the 6th of November, that is Friday, we're seeing that Mercury squares Saturn. This is going to give us this opportunity to go within, to also really see ourselves in a light where we're recognizing how our communication has evolved and matured, and our ability to go within ourselves and communicate more clearly to ourselves, to understand ourselves more, and also to communicate more clearly with others and with the spirit world. This is kind of our integration of the Mercury retrograde, what we've learned, what we've worked on. So if you haven't really taken the time to learn from lessons of the Mercury retrograde as you experienced it, you may not feel as much evolution as you may want to on Friday, but that means that you just need to put that extra work in. And if you're feeling really good Friday, that means, hey, you did the work. Now you're in a better communication. You can feel that. You can sense that. It makes you feel more confident and really good. And it gives you this sense of deep reverence for that experience. Okay. And also it encourages us to stay patient in our communication during that day, because we're really integrating. We want to stay patient and we want to think before we speak, because we also don't want to regress from what we've learned. Okay. Then on Saturday, November 7th, that's Chad's birthday. Happy birthday, Chad. On November 7th, it's going to be a powerful day. This is Saturday, and this is going to be a numerological 13 day. Now, 13 has been a number that has been popping up repeatedly every year, and it has been one that has shown us so much power with the divine feminine. The number 13 is the number for the divine feminine. It is a powerful number, and it's also the number for life, death, transformation, rebirth. Okay. And as we feel that energy, we are recognizing our divine feminine awareness, our intuition, our connection to our nurturance, our creativity, our manifestation, and also our compassion and consideration. And that is a really powerful thing. So we want to allow that to integrate. And we also want to recognize that life, death transformation also kind of causes us to feel a big shift. So we may feel an unexpected shift, or we may get an unexpected awareness that represents that transformation. And that can be really great for us. The Sun quincunx the Mars retrograde on that day, and the Mars retrograde is still going on until the 12th. Mars being that fiery, kind of active, masculine energy for action and passion. And so we're still in that retrograde. The Sun is quincunx it at 150 degrees. And Mars is actually starting to slow down as that retrograde starts to end. So we're being seen in a different way, and we're seeing ourselves in a different way, and we're also seeing our path in a different way, because we're shining light from the sun onto Mars slowing down and kind of getting back into alignment to what we've been wanting to focus on, because we've taken the awareness to reassess our actions for this entire 80 days, 90 days that we've had the Mars retrograde. Okay. So listen to your inner voice to navigate this and really allow your creativity to shine through. Notice how your response to actions has changed. Notice how your direction towards certain things has changed. And notice how you've matured in your path and in the focus of action that you've had on your path. And really allow yourself to be present on that, to see if there's anything else that you're meant to learn from that. And also if there's just anything to really congratulate yourself on and celebrate, because there's usually so much coming through on that day as well. When we start to pay attention to the progress we've made, okay? All right, so that concludes the astrological influences of this week. Last little piece I'll say is that, of course, we're integrating all of the energy of the blue moon in Taurus. So we're getting more practical, we're getting more logical, we're stepping more into forward momentum, we're allowing ourselves to really feel even more connected to spirit and less fearful of that. We're feeling more brave and confident, and we're releasing baggage. We're releasing things that have been heavy so that we can fly higher. We can charge forward with more direction and less clumsiness or confusion, and we have more focus in our flow, okay? Super, super important. And then, of course, like I had announced real quick before we pull cards to end this reading, next week will be the last live reading, but I will still be doing weekly readings. They will just be premiered every Sunday at the same time, 1:11 a.m. Central, or 1:11 p.m. Central Time, 11:11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And it'll be really great because I'll be able to chat with all of you guys as we premiere it. So next week, we'll still be on the same schedule. I'll still be live just like I am this week, but then after that, things will shift just a little bit, but not too much, okay? All right, let's go ahead and pull cards to end this reading out. Let me know how all of you are feeling. So good to see you all. Thank you for talking and chatting. Loving that you guys are talking about sun gazing. Sun gazing is such a powerful thing to do to activate more of that sun energy, that action energy. Make sure you do it at the right time. Don't sun gaze at a time when it can really hurt your eyes. Make sure to research the best time of day to sun gaze in your area, because it can be different for different areas and different times of the day, okay? All right, let's see the beginning of the week card from the Mary Magdalene deck. The beginning of the week card showing up for us right there. Middle of the week card, we've got the Voyager deck. The Voyager deck is such a powerful, like, accelerated tarot. It's kind of got some galactic energy. Here's the middle of the week card from that. And then to add even more galactic energy, we have the Angels of Atlantis cards for the end of the week. Ooh, powerful. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is so great. First card, everybody, is Past Lives. Look at that card. Check it out. What a beautiful, beautiful card. The Past Life card is all about recognizing the past lives you've had with people in your life presently, the past lives you've had that represent present powers that you've brought forth into this life, the past lives that you've had that need healing or cleansing. I've done some really powerful past life regressions for some people this month and this last couple of months, honestly, and it's been pretty amazing to see the amount of healing, the amount of cleansing, the amount of activation that comes through from it. So if you're wanting a past life reading, definitely let me know. Reach out to me. You'll be able to use the link in the description of this video to schedule your past life reading with me, and we can discover more about what's there. But you may have already been having some meditation, some visions, some dreams, some inklings, some intuitive messages about past lives you've shared with others. So I encourage you, go into meditation on your own, see if you can access some information on that so you can discover what messages lie for you there, because the veil is still thin, super, super thin, and this is a great time to really get a lot of detail in past life connections, especially in the beginning of this week, okay? Then the next card is the Empress card from the Voyager deck. Check that out. We were talking about the Mother of Mercy. The Empress is the mother. She is just a powerful, mothering, intuitive master. She is a really strong energy of intuition. She's a step higher than the Priestess. She's really matured from the Priestess into the Empress, creativity and power. And so this is really going to be activated in the middle of the week with all of that creative energy we talked about, that mother of mercy, that compassion, that consideration, that awareness of self that allows for, more intuitive expansion. And it's really a great energy. I wish I could show you that card a little bit better, but there's a lot on it, so it's getting a little blurry. But this is also the 3 card. And so this is this energy of balance, of mind, body, and soul balance. There's a dove here, this energy of peace, this energy of presence. She's standing by water. She's under the moon and the sun. There's just this powerful, powerful connection to balance and harmony amongst duality, really becoming that unity consciousness like we talked about. So we really want to tap into that energy for the middle of the week. And then check this out, you guys, because we literally just had forgiveness last week and we're having it again, but with entirely different deck. Archangel Jophiel coming through with the solar plexus energy and such a powerful energy of forgiveness, this energy of being softer in our judgments towards others, to really allow ourselves to release any overly abrasive or judgmental perspectives on things, and to come into a place of compassion and forgiveness as to help our heart renew itself and become more pure. Okay, so forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness of self and of others, of situations, of all of that. Okay. And let yourself find ways to forgive in even the little things, forgiving a certain thing, somebody cutting you off in traffic, or forgiving somebody for having a little bit of an attitude, because they're having a bad day. Find ways to interject that in little areas as well, because that will build into bigger ones. Okay. That's our end of the week card. So we've got, just to review, past lives for the beginning of the week, the Empress card for the middle of the week, and forgiveness for the end of the week. So I hope this reading resonated with you. Comment below on how it did. Reach out to me if you need a reading or if you're interested in coaching. And I'm here for you, and I will be here for you again next week for a brand new weekly reading at 1:11 p.m. Central Time. But until then, it was so good to connect with you, and make sure you enjoy the rest of this powerful moon energy from last night in whatever way you're called. Do some rituals, do some ceremony, do some meditating, and release any fear that you may have in connecting to the spirit world or facing some of those shadows, because they are all there for a reason and they can't hurt you. They will only allow you to become more aware of your light as you call on it. Okay? Love you so much. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.